Never have I ever heard of a company making a decision so bad that it has made game devs with 3.5 billion collective installs say they'll boycott Unity ads until its price increase is reversed. If you're not yet aware of what's going on, Unity, a popular and widely used real-time 3D development platform primarily used for creating video games, has made one of the worst decisions a company could ever make. Here's what's happening for Unity come January 2024 if they don't change it, which I believe they will after all the backlash they've gotten. They're stupid if they don't. But anyways, check this out. The cost of using Unity as a game engine is once again about to increase. Starting in January 2024, the company will begin charging what it's calling a Unity runtime fee. That's based on the number of users installing games built on the widely used engine. I won't read the entire article, but I'll leave a link so you can read it for yourself. I'll just show you why everyone is so enraged about this situation. Unity, personal, and Plus developers will pay a flat fee of 20 cents per install. Pro and enterprise users will pay a smaller per install fee that scales downward with the number of installations over the initial threshold. Pro user fees will begin at 15 cents per install and scale downward to as low as 2 cents per install, while enterprise users fees will begin at 12.5 cents per install and scale down to as low as 1 cent per install. Now, I can only imagine the implications of this. It doesn't matter how it gets installed, your project doesn't even have to be finished and you'll be charged for an install. For example, my game was in Steam Next Fest this year and I don't even know how many people installed my demo. So you mean to tell me that I would have been charged and paying people so they could play my game? That's insane. I'm not a Unity game dev. My project is being developed in Unreal Engine, so this is just my perspective from that angle. But I truly feel for those who've fallen victim to this Unity scandal. Yes, I'm calling it that, a scandal, because there's so much confusion and outrage surrounding this issue that many are even questioning if this is legal. Lots of game development companies are getting their legal teams involved to really see if that's the case. So this might actually be illegal. How it just snuck in here out of nowhere. It's crazy, man. The Unity CEO, John Riccitiello, years back, had a meeting. Get this is crazy. He had a meeting with his constituents. And I found this out from Yongyi. There was actually a recording of him discussing the endless possibilities of ways to make money off of consumers through microtransactions by getting into the psychology of the player. Basically, that while they're in a certain state of mind, being totally immersed in a game emotionally while in the heat of battle, specifically in the game Battlefield, which he bases his example from, and they need ammo, he introduces the idea of charging $1 for a magazine when running out of ammo. Now this is so conniving, deceiving, and flat out wrong, the idea of getting over on a player in ways like this. And I, being a gamer, can attest to it. I've done this in games like Clash of Clans, purchasing gem packs or whatever. The phenomenon is real and it works. But to go to an extreme like this guy, Riccitiello, was proposing just shows the level of greed he's willing to go to in order to make money. And to introduce this 2-cent fee per install of a Unity game is only the beginning. So his hope is probably that if it's accepted amongst the Unity community or people in general, eventually this 20 cents could get raised to 50 cents. Who knows? This is how schemes like this work. They try to get into the back door, and once they're comfortably in, it gets exploited even more to where it can't even be controlled. But the Unity community is not having it at all. And this dynamic could also evolve into all kinds of other situations. Here's one. Starfield, one of the biggest games recently in a decade, was just released. It came out a few weeks ago, exclusively on Xbox and PC. This made PlayStation owners really upset, even though they had Baldur's Gate. So they began a review bombing campaign collectively. And review bombing, if you don't know, is something that people with no friends like to do. They'll head to a website like Metacritic and work in packs to shower a game with unfair low scores, usually 0s and 1s, over the pettiest things. So you're telling me that now with his 2-cent fee, the implications of that are they'll be able to have the capability to do worse? I'm talking installing, then uninstalling your game repeatedly, doing this for I don't know how many times, then working in packs to do it. There are always haters, for what reason I don't know, but this is only the beginning of bad things that could happen as a result of implementing something like this. But like I said, the community, the Unity community, is not having it. I was checking out Reddit, and this decision is not only causing an adverse effect on a minuscule group of individuals within the community. I'm not talking about a small amount of people. This is pretty much the entire community against this, man. Which is why I say this spells the end of Unity as we know it. And I'm sure many other smaller game dev platforms will be happy to take those who left Unity in with open arms. Godot, just to name one of them. There's so many low-key game companies or game development companies that we just don't know about that have been outshined by Unity, and at that time, rightly so, Unreal. I mean, people look at things that are most commercial and the most popular. But now with this scheme coming through, a lot of people are going to be looking through the cracks and seeing what else is out there. And they might find some hidden gems, you know? But look at all these prominent, well-known developers who've been with Unity for 10 plus years have said. Inner Sloth from Among Us. This would not harm only us, but fellow game studios of all budgets and sizes. If this goes through, we delay content and features our players actually want to port our games elsewhere, as others are also considering. But many developers won't have the time or means to do the same. Stop it. What the F? Aggro Crab. This decision puts us and countless other studios in a position where we might not be able to justify using Unity for our future titles. That's crazy. If these changes aren't rolled back, we'll be heavily considering abandoning our wealth of Unity expertise we've accumulated over the years and starting from scratch in a new engine. Gary Newman from Rust. It's our fault. All of our faults. We sleepwalked into it. We had a ton of warnings. We should have been pressing the eject button when Unity IPO'd in 2020. Every single thing they've done since then has been the exact opposite of what was good for the engine. We had 10 years to make our own engine and never did. I'm sure a lot of game companies are feeling the same today. Let's not make the same mistake again. Rust 2 definitely won't be a Unity game. And there are so many more comments like this on Reddit from all kinds of indie devs voicing their opinions about this craziness. John Riccatello took over as CEO for Unity late 2014. Since then, the company's been on a slow decline, but this decision may be the one that finally breaks the camel's back. This decision was so bad that even if they decide to roll it back completely, everything, and make things the way they were, it still might not stop the large majority of developers from leaving, those who've already lost trust in Unity. There'd be no way to even know if Unity will try something like this again in the future. So self-preservation is what everyone is concerned about at the end of the day. You know, some of you may not understand this, but a lot of time, effort, and sacrifice is put into developing a game. So when someone adds on to this in a negative way, it really cuts deep and can cause some really bad consequences. Because not only are they disrupting the flow of creativity, but they're messing with people's money. Because if you have a game on Steam, which is a great platform to distribute your project, by the way, they take a flat 30% off the top just for promoting your game, which is fair. They literally provide a platform for you to get your game into the world. You're already not making a full profit from the project you made. And I personally don't have a publisher or anything for my game for marketing purposes or whatever else, but many developers do. And who knows what percentage they take, maybe another 30%. It just depends on the agreement made. The point I'm trying to make is that you might end up not making any money at all, and Unity is literally adding to this problem. At the end of the day, what would be the point of making a game? Are you working for everyone else, or are you trying to become financially free and happy? This is crazy, man, and I'm not for it. I do not want to see Unity fail, but if so, you can't stop the inevitable. I just wanted to voice my opinion from an Unreal Engine developer's perspective. Let me know what you think of this in the comments below. I'd really like to know. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.